It's been over a year since we suggested that Microsoft Edge could replace Google Chrome as your web browser. Since we brought you that video, the Edge team has been hard at work and there's a lot to talk about. But first, here are the key reasons that I used Microsoft Edge in 2020 instead of Chrome. Firstly, Edge is Chrome. Well, sort of anyway. The new Microsoft Edge is based on the Chromium rendering engine, and that's what makes Chrome work. It's also the engine behind other browsers like Brave and Vivaldi. In the case of Edge, this means that all of the extensions that you have in Chrome can be easily used in the new Edge too. In fact, you can install extensions in Edge directly from the Chrome Web Store. Some of the Chrome extensions that I use include the 1Password extension, Microsoft Editor, the OneNote Web Clipper, and the Office 365 extension. I'm pretty sure you'll have plenty of Chrome extensions and they will work in Edge. Now, because Microsoft have embraced the Chromium engine, all of the improvements that they make to it are actually open source. They're community and standards based, and they apply to everyone. So even if you don't want to use Edge and you just want to use Chrome, you'll still benefit on Windows because the new Edge exists. Now, I'll talk more about what Microsoft have done for the Chromium project at the end of this video. Secondly, Edge has the best profiles. I work with many organizations as a trainer, and sometimes I need to log in to, say, an Office 365 account for that organization. But since I'm already logged into my own company's account, I don't want to log out and log in every time. So I set up a profile instead. That way I can just switch to a new browser where I'm ready and logged in with those accounts. I use this for my personal and work accounts. I have a profile for each, and I even pin the profiles to my taskbar so that I can launch into that profile directly as soon as I need it. Thirdly, Edge is the best browser for battery life and performance, and that's only going to get better. In an IT Pro article in February this year, Darian Graham-Smith compared Chrome, Firefox, and Edge and found that Edge outperformed on 3 different benchmarks. Thankfully with Edge though, speed doesn't come at the cost of battery life. Brett Howes from AnandTech compared browsers in September last year and found that Edge came out on top in battery life. The fourth reason I use Edge is that it's multi-platform. So you can use it on Windows 7, 8 and 10 of course. But it's even considered to be one of the best browsers on Mac. It's a good option on iOS and Android too. Working together between mobile and desktop devices of any flavor has never been easier. And the fifth reason I'm using Edge is that Microsoft is not an advertising-driven company. It doesn't need to snoop on your business to stay afloat. Sure, it does have a search business with Bing. However, it's a very small part of the Microsoft ecosystem with a revenue of around 8 billion, compared to Google's 150 billion and Facebook's 95 billion in advertising revenue. That gives Microsoft a lot more freedom to put privacy up front in their browser. Now, just in case you're wondering, you can actually change your search provider to Google right on this page as well. However, you may not want to if you value your privacy. So that's all of the stuff that we had last year. And now here in 2021, Edge has come a long way. We now have an amazing web capture tool that's even better than what we used to have in the old version of Edge. Under the 3-dot menu in Edge, you'll find Web Capture. You can now capture a long scrolling web page in one simple screenshot with this tool, and you can annotate it as well. Last year we had some rudimentary annotation tools in Edge for PDFs only, but they've been improved quite a lot and they now work on your web captures too. Last year we had Read Aloud, but in the older version of Edge we had the full Immersive Reader. That's now found its way back into the new Chromium-based Edge. So you can enable reading mode on your favorite news article, get rid of the ads and focus on the content. You can change the colors and the layout. You can even have the page read out to you in a local accent and at the speed that you want. If you don't know about the Microsoft Immersive Reader project, you need to. So get the latest version of Edge and try it out. This year, we've also seen improvements to the download interface, which I never really liked from Chrome anyway. They've moved the downloads up to the top bar. We've also got vertical tabs, which is an option that can be a little jarring at first, but it's quite an interesting way to organize your open web pages. There's also collections that allows you to group pages, kind of like bookmarks or favorites, but more disposable, visual, and topic-based. These collections sync across your devices. So imagine that you're planning a trip or researching a topic and you spot something on your mobile device. Add it to your collection and it will be there on your desktop. Edge also added extension and history syncing. So when you spin up a new desktop device and you sign in, all of your extensions and history automatically install. There's password suggestions, which is great for security. Just take the suggested complex password and use your password manager of choice to capture it. It saves you the hassle of trying to conjure up passwords. There are better privacy controls, a QR code generator, and there's even more to come. At the recent Microsoft Build Developer Conference, the Edge team slated improvements to browser startup and sleeping tabs that will be shipping soon in Edge. There are also improvements to the digital inking experience that will have wide implications across the many Office 365 web apps that support inking through the browser. But the real story of Edge is not just that it became the standout web browser of 2021. It's the story of how we came to be here, where tech people are recommending a Microsoft browser even on Macs. It's not that long ago that Microsoft were truly the bad guys of the web. Back in the late 90s, Microsoft cemented its brutal reputation for doing business by crushing the dominant web browser of the time, Netscape. Back in 2005, a US court ruled that Microsoft abused their market power by bundling Internet Explorer into Windows. They used that power to lock out and disadvantage competitors like Netscape with deeper integration. Using these tactics, Internet Explorer captured 95% of the browser market around 2002 to 2005. They then doubled down on the bad guy stuff by using their dominant position to trap users and corrupt web standards with IE6.
Homer, Bill Gates is here.
Bill Gates? I reluctantly accept your proposal.
Well, everyone always does. Buy 'em out, boys!
But over the 10 years from 2002 to 2012, the tech community led a revolt against Microsoft and Internet Explorer. By 2012, Internet Explorer had lost its #1 spot to Google's Chrome web browser, and Chrome's been sitting at around 70% of market share ever since. The later versions of Internet Explorer actually weren't that bad for the time, but it was too little too late. And in many ways, Microsoft got what they deserved. And I think we're all better off for that little bit of comeuppance. Internet Explorer is now officially gone for good, and even the version of Edge that superseded it has been put to rest. As of May 2021, Microsoft has now committed over 5,300 pieces of code to the Chromium open source project. Let me just repeat that. Microsoft have published 5,300 pieces of open source code that Google and other competitors can use for free. Back in 2002, Steve Ballmer would have fired you for suggesting something like this at Microsoft. But today, in Microsoft under Satya Nadella,
listen more, talk less, and be decisive when the time comes.
Open source is just normal. So is working closely with your competitors for the benefit of you and me. And this is a company that I can get behind. Go Microsoft. Do you want to know more about Microsoft Edge, Office 365, Surface, or just anything Microsoft? Hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell too to get notifications about our new videos that come out every Wednesday. And if you enjoyed the video, remember to hit like. Let us know what browser you're using in the comments below. And if you're using Microsoft Edge, tell us what you like and what you don't like about it. In fact, you can extol, where's that come from? This means that you can actually extol. What is going on? In fact, you can extol, that's what? I'll get past this, we'll be right.